Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's your boy Cap, as always, aka Capri. And in today's video, man, do I have a great one for y'all today. By the way, happy Friday to everybody as well. Anyways, in today's video, I wanted to show clips of mostly women, some on behalf and courtesy of TikTok, giving their perspective on why they don't ever plan on getting married. Where one of them, I know, says why she will never get married, the top reasons why, and another one was actually gave her perspective on why the majority of Black American women are not married. Also, and on top of that, I wanted to show a man giving his perspective on why Black women are no longer marrying as well in exponential numbers. After that, I'm going to show a clip of a woman, another Black woman, who is giving her perspective on how there's no value in marriage for most modern day women. By the way, this woman happens to be somewhere in, I would say, her early 30s, maybe, but don't quote me on it though. Anyways, and without further ado, I'm going to cut straight to the chase.
Welcome back. I talk a lot on my platforms about why I'm child free and why I'm also anti-marriage. But I'm anti-marriage for myself. I'm not anti-marriage for my friends and family. I just don't see myself ever getting married. Another reason why I don't want to get married is because I am not about to go through the BS that you go through in a divorce, right? Losing assets, having to divide assets. It is my own personal opinion that most marriages are going to end in divorce anyways. Most of them already have, if you really look around. I know plenty of people who are divorced. I know plenty of people who failed at marriage multiple times because they've been married multiple times. So at the end of the day, that's just not a risk I'm willing to take, right? And for the same reasons why I don't want to have kids, right? The number one way I can guarantee that I'll never be a single mother or a baby mama or whatever is to not have kids, right? You have to protect yourself from things. You can't control the law, right? I've seen a lot of people lose things, men and women, lose things in marriages and divorces that was very unfair, especially if you've acquired things before you got married and then the financial situation changed between you or your husband or whatever. And then now all of a sudden you're taking this and you're taking that, even though it was mine. People will say sign prenups. I see prenups get thrown out all the time. Overturned. Depends on the judge. It depends on the state you're in. It depends on the judge's mood that day. It depends on who has the better lawyer. We know it's not what's true is what you can prove in court. And we know that spouses can have the better lawyers that knows the loopholes. And next thing you know, you're walking away with nothing, even though you worked hard for stuff. Same reason why starting a company and then bringing in investors and then they end up getting a higher percentage of the company and they vote you out of your own company. Oh my God. Every time I've ever heard anybody go through that, I got pissed for them, which is why I would never, I would either sell my company outright or whatever, but I just don't see myself putting other people in a position to overthrow me from my own shit, right? I just have the mindset, right? I already think most marriages are going to end in divorce anyway. This is just one of the reasons why I don't want to get divorced. I got to keep saying that because everybody thinks that whatever I talk about in one video, that's the only reason. No, there's 1,000 reasons why I don't want to get married. And there's 3,000 reasons why I don't want to have kids, right? This is just one of the reasons. One of the top reasons, actually, right? I don't want somebody in my house. I don't want somebody to be able to take my shit, right? When we break up, right? I don't date anymore anyways, but when we break up, we can just go our separate ways. Right. There's no dividing of assets. There's nothing what I came in, I would just much rather you not have any legal rights to my shit. Right. I don't want any legal rights to yours either. I can hold that same energy. We both leave with what we came with. Right. That's just to give women something to think about too. Those of you who are contemplating getting a house with a man, I would never fucking get a house with a man and like own one. Have I rented houses with someone before? A couple people, both of my fiancés, yes, I have. But we rented, so it wasn't that big of a deal, right? But buying a house, absolutely not. And I plan on putting my blood, sweat, and tears into this bitch. Like, I'm literally going to have this house custom It's going to be the exact square footage, the exact amount of acres, all of that. The perfect amount of rooms. I need at least 5 bedrooms. Yes, that sounds excessive to some people, but that's too bad. I still want 5 bedrooms. I have my bedroom. I have my dressing room. I'm going to have an office. I'm going to have a workout / dance studio, and I'm going to have a guest bedroom, period. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm not going to go through all of that and then risk losing it. It's just not going to happen. So there's that. I just wanted to share that little tidbit and give you guys something to think about. Is it worth losing everything that you worked hard for? Is it worth risking losing your credit or ruining your credit? Things like that, right? It's not worth it. You're going to get divorced 9 times out of 10 anyways. It's like, why put yourselves through that? That's just my own personal opinion. I know people are going to disagree, but that is how I feel. And I just wanted to share that because that was on my mind today. I'll catch you guys in the next video.
Also, I wanted to give my quote unquote 2 cents on this matter. One other reason why I would say so many Black American women, modern day specifically, as in their 20s and 30s, don't value marriage and don't want to get married is due to a simple fact of how some look at it from the perspective of how they may have female relatives who are now divorced and ended up marrying due to them being cheated on, ended up divorcing, due to them being cheated on their female relatives. Therefore, they may feel as in, on behalf of a lot of you modern day Black women, including some of you who are single with no kids at all, to some of you who are single mothers who may not value marriage or may not ever anytime in the near future getting married. And tell me if I'm right or wrong, but some of you may look at it as in, even if you were to marry that guy who may be the ideal guy for you, it's still no guarantee that he won't cheat on you, including on behalf of my women, my single mothers who may have multiple kids by multiple men, therefore may have contemplated on marrying either one of them, only to realize or think that if you were to have married one of your children's daddies, or as we say in our community, baby daddies, if that sounds more appropriate, because our English is all the way broken most of the time in the African American community. Anyways, and I digress. That's a whole other subject for a whole other video. Some of you who may have multiple baby daddies may have contemplated on marrying eventually one of them, only to change your mind and look at it from the perspective whereas even if you would have married one of your baby daddies or baby's daddies just for the sake of one of your children, it's still no guarantee that he still want to cheat it, especially if he may happen to be a baby daddy of yours who may have so many other baby mamas as well. Anyways, and let me proceed to the next video.
This is the reason why some women don't want to get married, because it's like a losing battle. It don't matter how much they love, how much they give, it's not enough. It don't matter how much money they make. They try to do what they can for a man, make him happy, cooking food, clean the house, take care of the kids. He just ain't happy. A woman ain't got time to waste her life trying to make somebody happy that ain't happy about themselves, that ain't happy with themselves. You got people coming to your life with all that trauma and that drama, all that sadness, all them tears. They ain't trying to be happy. They still live in the past. She trying to go forward. You still stuck what happened back then. You still stuck on your exes. You still worried about them, what they did to you. You can't come to that woman's life with all that baggage. Drop that luggage off and make her life a little easier.
So the ruling is in. Here's the 3 top reasons why Black women have the lowest marital rates. We are uncooperative, we do not listen, and we have the nastiest attitudes.
Let me start right there. Now, that is true about so many of them, not all of them, but quite a bit of them Black women, Black American women specifically, who have some of the most nastiest attitudes. fellas, how many times have you been walking into a building in front of one, been nice enough to hold the door open for one, and there are some non-black guys that have gotten the same kind of treatment on behalf of black women's bad attitudes. Once again, this is not on behalf of every last black woman in the world's attitude, but quite a bit of them have some of the most foulest attitudes. But once again, fellas, how many times, whether you may be a black man or a man of a whole different other race and nationality, you will be walking into a building in front of a woman, a black woman that is, be nice enough to, first of all, greet her, hold the door open for her, only for her to not say anything at all, or in some instances respond back to you, but respond in a mean-spirited and standoffish tone of voice. Anyhow.
Unfortunately, y'all, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly, 100%. But let me say this. It does not make me happy. Seeing those comments did not make me happy at all. But it's the reality of where we as Black women are. That we have created this narrative based on our actions, our behaviors to be these unruly women, when that is not our history. So many women try to sit on this app and in conversations and try to paint this picture that Black women have always been loud and ghetto and ratchet and overly provocative and over-sexualized. Like, that is not our history. And I wish we stopped with that. Like, we have to stop taking away credit for the women who were feminine, women who were very elegant, had class, had dignity, were not loud, were not super aggressive, were able to stand their ground, but also be very feminine at the same time. So I know y'all didn't like the poll. I know y'all didn't agree to hearing men primarily and women point out why Black women have the lowest marital rates. It always goes back to us. I know we don't control who proposes, who pops a question, but you have control over if it happens based on your actions. Don't forget.
And I also wanted to say this. Some of you also avoid marriage and look at marriage is not beneficial on your behalf due to the simple fact of how so many of you have multiple kids by multiple men. And you may look at it from the angle or perspective as is, even if you were to meet that ideal man who may happen to take on the role of being the stepdaddy to your kids, in most instances for you women with multiple baby daddies, that doesn't guarantee that you still will be faithful to that stepdaddy who may happen to be a better father than all your other kids, all your kids' fathers. I'm cooking today, and due to the simple fact of how so many of you like to whore around, so many of you Black women like to whore around, for some of you who may have decided to get married later on after being knocked up by multiple men, as a result, being a single mother to multiple kids by multiple baby daddies. So let me stop sharing my TikTok screen so I could go back to StreamYard and start sharing my Instagram screen so I can show one more clip pertaining to this here matter. Where is it?
50-50, the laundry wasn't 50-50, the cleaning wasn't 50-50, and that's an everyday motherfucking job. I come home and they got food on the table, clothes on the bed, got shit everywhere. I'm organized and clean, so every day I'm exhausted. I'm coming home, I'm cleaning my house, and yes, I do that anyways, but when it's just you, it's just you. When you are cleaning up for a man and his children and other people, it is a whole full-time job, and you don't get time for yourself, and that's why women get burnt out, and you're no longer having a relationship, because you're coming home and a man is sitting on the couch because he's tired from work, and you're making sure you're catering to him.
So what? So what? So what?
I don't understand. Where is the value in that?
Fellas, do not choose a woman who don't want to be a woman.
Are you delusional?
The modern day woman, right there. I'm going to go to work like you. Yeah, you want me to cook, clean. So what? Yes, you're going to cook, clean, do this and do that. And guess what? He taking the trash out. He fixing the house. He making sure this. But we have different duties, functions, and responsibilities. My wife don't want my duties. and I don't want hers. We have different responsibilities. Just because I can see you cook the food and you can't see me clean the gutters, you don't even care about that stuff, but it still need to be done. Men have different responsibilities. So all this, oh, I cook and I clean, and yeah, that's part of your function. But when your tire is flat, my function is to make sure you have a new tire.
But
when your car need an oil change, it's my job to make sure these people ain't ripping you off. We have different duties and functions and responsibilities. And if you don't love your duty, your function, your responsibility, you're not fit to be a wife, period.
The guess wasn't 50-50. The dishes.
Now, with that being said, make sure, like always, everybody, you comment on the video, you smash that like button, you share the video, last not least, subscribe to the channel. And when you do subscribe, ladies and gentlemen, and especially on behalf of all my brand new people, my brand new followers to my channel, make sure you choose to be notified of all my upcoming videos and content. Till next time, happy Friday to you guys, and be